So today, we have Invincible from the show on Amazon Prime taking on Deku from My Hero Academia. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, let's start off with Deku. Izuku Midoriya, hero named Deku, is the ninth wielder of the quirk One for All, a crystallization of power that's gotten more and more powerful each time it's been passed on. He currently has mastery of 45% of his quirk, and due to being the singularity point of the quirk, he has all the past wielder's quirks as well. More on that later. One for All at its core just increases his strength and speed. The higher the percentage he uses, the more powerful he becomes. But if he goes past 45%, he starts damaging his body. But at 45%, he bodied Muscular with just a couple of hits, overpowered Dark Shadow's Ragnarok move, and busted out of Todoroki's heaven-piercing Ice Wall attack, despite Shoto applying more ice to it to try to keep him restrained. And he was exhausted as well for both of those last two feats, and he was still able to bust and overpower them. But when he goes beyond his limits and uses 100% of One for All, he is so much more powerful. He destroyed the massive zero-pointer robot, destroyed Todoroki's massive ice barrages, wrecked Overhaul in his monstrous form, and sent Muscular flying with enough force to crater a small mountain. And now, let's just look at his resolve. His resolve is quite insane. Like I said earlier, overusing One for All severely damages his body. Look at his fight with Todoroki during the Sports Fest. He walked in already with 2 broken fingers on the men, and during it, he broke 8 of his fingers and then continued to use them at 100% despite them being broken. It got to the point he couldn't even make a fist. And then not only that, he broke his arm as well on a full-powered smash too. And he just kept fighting. He kept fighting. He didn't stop. Even Eraserhead acknowledged his resolve and said that it was absurd. And then in his fight with Muscular, he took a massive beating from him and broke both of his arms in the process. And he still continued on to fight against the League after he had defeated Muscular. He's overused his quirk so many times that it's starting to cause permanent scarring on his hands and fingers. He's come up with a move called Air Force. He just projects a small air blast by flicking his fingers. And then there's his other quirks: Black Whip, Smokescreen, Fajin, Danger Sense, and Float. Using One for All at 45% in tandem with Black Whip and Fajin allows him to equal 100% of his power without hurting himself. He is very skilled in using his quirk in close quarters combat, and he's a very tactical fighter as well, due to his great knowledge and understanding of how quirks work. And lastly, he said that he was operating at a higher level than All Might ever had. Not just when he was weakened, that he ever had, even in his prime. And All Might did not disagree with him. Anyways, that's Izuku Midoriya. But in the other corner, we have Mark Grayson, aka Invincible. Mark is half Viltrumite, making him already one of the most powerful things or people on the planet. And his power will only grow as he ages. He accidentally threw a bag of trash to space upon getting his powers. He threw a baseball all the way around the world, stopped an asteroid and threw it back into space, held up the top half of a skyscraper, overpowered Monster Girl with ease and sent her flying with enough force to cause her to revert back to her human form, helped Omni-Man beat a kaiju amped up by the strongest performance enhancers and didn't feel pain, and he was able to stagger Omni-Man and Battle Beast with his blows. He's insanely durable. Insanely. He's not called invincible for nothing, okay? It's not just a name. He is almost invincible. He no-sold cratering the ground several times while trying to learn how to land from flying, and he did take a hit from Monster Girl as well, completely unharmed by it. Um, but let's just get to his two most impressive feats. He survived an all-out assault, brutal beatdown from Battle Beast, and then he survived the onslaught from his father. Mark was being sent all around the country by his blows, through buildings, trains, and big cruise ships, and he was hit hard enough to crack an entire mountain and cause an avalanche. And then Nolan continued the brutal and bloody assault until Mark's face was disfigured, and yet he remained conscious through all of it. It was a brutal, uncomfortable beating, yet he did not pass out from it. Not to mention, when a scientist examined his blood, he found that Viltrumites are completely unfazed by all earthly drugs, viruses, toxins, and poisons, and then said that Viltrumites don't die. And he could fly at least Mach 3 speeds, seeing that he's kept pace with Adam Eve, and Cecil thought it was her who was coming back to help Mark and Nolan when it was really Immortal, and he said that he was moving at Mach 3 speeds. I know ABC logic isn't always like the best way to do it, but Immortal was going Mach 3, Cecil thought it was Adam Eve. Invincible has matched Adam Eve in speed throughout the entire season. I'd say Invincible can at least move at Mach 3 speeds. So, who wins? Which heroic teenager is coming out on top? Well, if you don't know, the winner is pretty obvious here. Even at 100%, Deku still can't match Invincible physically. You can argue strength, but Mark is so much tougher and faster, with durability really playing that deciding role. Deku is more versatile and the better and tactical fighter, but I just don't think that's going to matter. I'm not saying a 100% smash wouldn't hurt Mark or wouldn't send him flying, but not only would Deku's arm or leg be broken, Mark would just get back up with no problem. I mean, he took beatdowns from Battle Beast and Omni-Man. They are both certainly stronger than Deku. Black Whip isn't strong enough to hold Mark. Deku isn't fast enough to escape him. And I'm not sure if Danger Sense would be fast enough to allow Deku to dodge Mark's attacks. And lastly, Deku just doesn't have the power or brutality even remotely close to Battle Beast or Omni-Man to get the job done on Invincible. He just doesn't. I mean, look what it took. It took Battle Beast and Omni-Man to brutally beat him down to keep Mark down. He is just so much more durable. At the end of the day, Deku is a human. Mark is half Viltrumite. It's that physiology difference that makes Mark so much more durable. And I would definitely say Mark is stronger as well, but I think some people could argue it. And he's certainly faster too. And he's not like a bad brawler or anything either. This fight seems good on paper. They're both teenage superheroes with a dream of saving as many people as possible and, being a hero and whatnot. But Invincible is just on another level. Even just now. He's only going to get more powerful in the future as he grows and whatnot. Yet Deku doesn't really stand much of a chance in this fight. Invincible wins. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you thought and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. I truly do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. And I really hope you enjoy my texting stories. I'm having a lot of fun doing them. Okay? Peace.